Hey family, we back, man. Hey, we are watching this video, Spiritual Detective. The Q&A with Kawan and Janelle. They're addressing a lot of things, and right now we're into the what's going on between them and Roxy. I didn't understand where the beef came from, so I guess they're basically explaining that right now. But I don't understand what's the reason is for it. You know, when we gotta find a baby.
Particular part. But I never really fully watched any of those videos. But I have been, they've been going around, and I did see the one that you're talking about. She was expressing that he wanted her, and what is it that you said around him and so on.
Like Mark chose me. He chose me, and he wanted me to be a part of 7 Mile
So
Radio.
let me explain that. Okay, so uh there was a lot of lies put out, right? There was a lot of lies put out on Mark platform. Um, I don't understand why that was done. It never made sense to me. Because I don't think that I nor Janelle had ever did anything to deserve him, nor her, nor Kenya saying anything towards us, about us in no type of way. So I was completely lost. Um, However, it was said that I was in some way flirtatious with Mark. And so that's never happened. Not
Hold on. A baby missing, and we talking about bitches flirting. Hold on. So what? Roxy was kicking it with Mark? Cause why would that matter? Y'all come help me with this shit, man. I know y'all like. I know, man. Y'all fucking. I knew you lying. Hold on. What the fuck? They doing what? Hold on. See, this is why.
However, it was said that I was in some way flirtatious with Mark. And so that's never happened. Not never happened. Now, Mark.
I thought I thought Roxy was. Oh, Roxy ain't gay. Hold on, bro. Hold on. So wait a minute. First of all, what the fuck did this got to do with finding Desire? But secondly, what?
So that's never happened. Not never happened. Now, Mark has pulled up to my place of living, and we have done like an exchange for something he had it. I was purchasing. I'm not gonna, say exactly what, but there's that. And we've had conversations. As far as Roxy was concerned, I didn't never say anything malicious. I just was like, there was a few things that she was saying, and I was
Mark was
expressing to
hitting
him,
that?
being as though, they were on this platform, that they may need to discuss it, because I think that she should be honest about it, because I didn't want to see nobody attacking her about it. So I was basically being a big cousin and saying, she needs to express she was in the city prior to Naziah come up missing. I don't think that nobody would see that as her doing something wrong.
Hold on, hold on,
She
hold on,
should
hold
be
on,
out
hold on.
towards us, about us in no type of way. So I was completely lost. Um, However, it was said that I was in some way flirtatious with Mark. And so that's never happened. Not never happened. Now, Mark has pulled up to my place of living, and we have done like an exchange for something he had it. I was purchasing. I'm not gonna, say exactly what, but there's that. And we've had conversations. As far as Roxy was concerned, I didn't never say anything malicious. I just was like, there was a few things that she was saying, and I was expressing to him, being as though, they were on this platform, that they may need to discuss it, because I think that she should be honest about it, because I didn't want to see nobody attacking her about it. So I was basically being a big cousin and saying, she needs to express.
I get that part, but then that's also a situation you go to your little cousin. You don't go to Mark. And see, that's how the bullshit starts, because it's pillow talk. See, now by the time they get back to Roxy, what you might have told Mark is completely different. To be a big cuz, you go to little cuz. Of course, it was gonna be drama in that shit. You went to him instead of her. What the fuck? Like, I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all don't get mad at me. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth about that shit. But no, that's how you do that. So it will come across a little fucking messy. I'm just keeping it a stack. We reacting as we go. Now, shit, the fuck?
She was in the city prior to Naziah come up missing. I don't think that nobody would see that as her doing something wrong, other than her saying, "Well, what did you guys do? And what was you guys doing?" And and so a lot of that stuff I just didn't understand. And like I said, thank goodness for Janelle, because she kept me from reacting, in ways that I probably would have, because it would anger me when I would hear about it. So even though I wasn't watching it, I was hearing about it. Like, well, why would she say that? And why would they say, this, that, and the other? I have no clue. But what I can say is I did have a conversation with Mark about Roxy, being honest about being in Detroit, and her being honest about the fact that she didn't move here as a result to finding and helping it went on with Naziah. That was all that I was saying. And so I don't know if they felt the need to do some type of demising our character or making us look bad, because maybe they felt like that would hemorrhage what they had going on. And so I just felt like they tried to make us look bad, and I don't understand that. Mark, no, I never flirted with him. In fact, me and Janelle, I called him on a three-way with her on the phone, and I checked Mark, and I said, "Why would you say something like that?" And I said, "Mark, have I ever came on to you, right, Janelle?" And I said, with her on the phone, what did I say?
You asked him, like, when did I say, why, she basically asked him, when did I do that? Like, what did I say? Like, where did you get this?
Hold on, so time out. So Mark was saying that she was flirting with him too? Are we serious? We supposed to be finding a fucking child. Yo. You know what? And
From, and he didn't answer. He just said, okay, he kept on saying Kiwana. And I'm like, did she do it or did she not? Like, just answer it or whatever. And then she did. We 40-some years old. Like,
yeah, let's be real.
why
I
why
wasn't
was
in a
that even
relationship at the time. At the time, if it was something that I had done, I wouldn't have had no reason to hide. I didn't get into a relationship till after. And Mark isn't my type. Not at all. Like none of my exes. If you tell all my exes to drop their picture right now, you're gonna see.
Mark, man, come on, man. We supposed to be trying to find Naziah. You knock it down. Hold on. What the fuck? So, time out, bro. See, this is why I don't be indulging in this shit, because I've been trying to find this baby. But when you pull these layers back, it's something else, ain't it? So she's basically saying that a lot of the beef started, you know what I'm saying, because Roxy felt like that Kawana was flirting with Mark. That's where we at. Man, y'all, man, I swear to God, bro, y'all get on my fucking nerves. I know why y'all send me this type of shit, because this has nothing to do with fucking nothing.
That all my exes were handsome men. And I'm not even being funny. I'm just
Now she calling Mark ugly? See, this... See, this is why things don't get done in the black community. Because we worrying about all the wrong shit. He went ugly when he was bringing that bud to your ass. No, I'm just playing. Mark, I ain't know you had the stank. Now, let me quit playing, man. I'm just being silly. Let me get back into it. Come on, let's go.
see that all my exes were handsome men. And I'm not even being funny. I'm just saying that Mark is not my idea of handsome. He may be to somebody else, but he's not to me. So, I could have said a lot of stuff about my exes, but I cannot say that they weren't easy on the eyes. Not none of them. Okay. So I didn't understand where he was coming from. I really didn't. It threw me. And what threw me even more is that my cousins, not just one, but both of them was on this very platform, and they were like, sharing with this idea that I had been flirtatious with women. They were really coming for me. So that, I mean, that hurt me. First you hurt my feelings, then I get angry. I just couldn't believe that that was happening, you know. And again, I had never watched it fully. I was just hearing about it. She was keeping me from watching that stuff.
Now, for her to kind of go ham like that, she might have tried to flirt a little bit. Because you shouldn't be this mad. Because we talk about anxiety. I don't even understand why this is even a, you know what I mean? I don't even understand why this is even a topic. But I'm going to listen. Because shit, what the fuck?
So yeah, to answer your question, I don't know why they did all of that. I really don't. I do know that I had my times where I felt like they were trying to come between me and Janelle.
And she tried to tell me this, and I'm like, I don't.
What the fuck, man? What's up with the vid?
See that or whatever. You know, I was always welcoming of anybody who wanted to support in any type of way. Like for instance, after the 14th, and I believe Mark did his thing on the 18th, and then he also helped me get a interview with the first interview, the interview that caused all the controversy with Dina Sanafati, where we had was it Dina Sanafati? No, it wasn't. Dubnet. Dubnet
Sure
Channel
was.
2.
Yeah, sure was.
I don't know where I got that from, but and she suggested that we cover our faces.
Yeah,
because
sure
at that time it was so many avenues that were being explored related to the case. They want to protect us, our safety, our identities.
And then, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So when I did it, we were trying to come to a place because I don't live in Detroit. I live over an hour away.
Oh.
So I was trying to find a place that was centrally located so that both Kiwana and I could make it to the interview and do it together. So we ended up doing it at a family member's studio. And it was Kiwana, myself, another family member who also made CPS reports and was actively involved in Zaya's life. And then Mark, of course, I told him where it was at because he was the one who got us the interview. And then he asked me, could Roxy come? Sure. That was the first time I really remember, like, I've met Roxy before, but didn't remember meeting her because, like, I don't see her like I see Kiwana. Me and Kiwana grew up together, like, as kids. Right. So I've been knowing her pretty much all my life. So I met.
I mean, but she family. He had to ask if she. This is some confusing shit. Yo, this here. I'm not gonna lie. This kind of make my ass itch. It just shows you just how distracted and off kilter we get when and we don't understand why priorities don't get handled. Listen to this fuckery. This don't even make no sense, y'all.
Roxy one time years ago, that had never met her before, and then I got reacquainted with her again when she came to the thing. Right. And my cousin, the other cousin who's there, who has also been actively involved in Azaya's life, she asked me, like, who is she? And I said, oh, that's Kenya cousin Roxy. And she said, well, why she got an attitude? Right. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know her. She was like, she been over there with her face put on. She got a whole problem with this situation. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe it's something else going on. Maybe that's how, she upset. That's how she expressed her emotions or her feelings. I don't know. And I really didn't care. I did the interview and I went home and left it as that. Not even knowing that she had a problem with the way we did the interview. And then, like, we said a lot, but they only posted like a 30-second clip of what we said. Mm-hmm. So, when you do news, everything doesn't come out. So
you definitely don't, especially for black and brown girls. Shit, you lucky you got the 30-second clip. You know what I mean? And that's pathetic.
Yes, they didn't like the fact that we did that what we said wasn't complete. Look, I don't have any control on what they report. I did the interview she suggested we protect our identities because of what was going on with the investigation. I feel like, you know what, I'm gonna say something on here and leave it as that. And then it just got progressively worse from there.
Yeah, but that's enough to
So
beef.
Yeah,
oh, go ahead.
no, it was being said like, well, we know why Janelle. Do you think they're gonna show one person and ask the other person not to be shown? And not only that, for a lot of reasons. I'm not the social media person. I've never been the social media person, and not only that, but no, let's suppose something was to go down.
Yeah, we didn't know what we was doing.
Yeah, we didn't know what was going on, and so we just felt that we were in agreement with what she said we should do, and we did it. And I didn't see the big deal. Like, what difference did it make if whether we
were trying to get
blurred
Azaya's
ourselves?
name and face out
Why
there, not
does that
ours.
matter? I'm saying what.
Yeah, I mean, like really, when you think about it too, it's just like I can understand their situation too as well. Like, especially when you don't even know who she like. I can understand both perspectives, and I just hate that because it's like at the end of the day, everybody family, and you just wish they could jail to just get this baby found.
What does
But
that
I do understand their perspective.
We was actually just happy that someone actually wanted to talk to us and put her story up there on the news. But like Kiwana said, she's not a social media person. I'm a private person as well. That's me personally, as well as I'm private for other reasons in my life. So that was another reason why I didn't want, like I was telling you the last time we talked, I had to change that.
Right.
Like, I'm like, I had to take a different approach on things because people are asking, well, y'all wasn't saying nothing all this time. Why are you saying something now? Because I had to take a different approach. As much as I want to remain private and depend on, like the police and things to get the word out there and do things or whatever, I was like, you know what, you're going to have to suck it up and go ahead and start talking because a lot of the things that have been on social media are not true.
A lot of stuff that was being done and said, we didn't agree with.
Wasn't being done and said, I didn't agree with. I was been in contact with an attorney, and the attorney told me, you need to separate yourself from the money.
Yeah.
You need to separate yourself from the propaganda. Because if we do decide to do anything legally, that's not going to look good if you're a part of it.
Right.
What money?
And not saying no names, but it was law officials telling us to stay away from
from
the podcast. They didn't want any part of it. Let me just say that. Okay, I don't know what they think what was going on here, but what we were being told was to stay far away from it. Okay, because to them, not only was it looking messy, but it wasn't good as far as the investigation. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Once Detroit police got their hands on that case, they took off as far as what they need. Listen, Detroit Public School Police had already done the whole the phone, text messages, and so on. And when they got those messages and they got that stuff, all the fussing we were doing that this case shouldn't be on y'all desk, y'all don't have the manpower. Well, that's when she said, you know what? Boom, this is too much. And that's when they handed it to Detroit police. Okay. Once they got the case, all that stuff that they had already got their hands on from Detroit Public School Police, they were not looking for a live child. Not from the beginning. They were not.
Yep.
They were not.
In the beginning, they, like when she went, like for instance, she went missing on the 9th of January.
Right.
We didn't find out until that Thursday, which I believe was the 10th, on a Facebook post that night. On the 11th, I was on the phone at 8 a.m. talking to Detroit Public School Police, trying to find out what's going on. Do you want me to try to reach out to her? Do you have a contact, a social media link or something like that? Because I haven't been in touch with the child.
Right.
I explained to them about the history that was going on in the household, the CPS reports that was filed, and all of that stuff. Kiwana also contacted them.
Sure did.
Every 4 to 5 business days, we were contacting them to get updates. The lady offered us flyers. She said, no, we have not heard from her. At one point, she basically told me that you're not even her guardian. I'm not even supposed to be talking to you, because she basically told me what the grandmother said she's missing. I told her, no, something's wrong. It's been over, a week. Like, no. So we just kept hounding them. We was like, okay, we're going to take turns calling, because Naziah still had not been home. No one had heard from her.
So the thing that I'm not understanding, now they just said that from the time that Detroit Public Schools passed the shit off to Detroit PD, they automatically was not looking for no live child. So what the fuck did they find that quick to insinuate that? Because you see, this is where it gets so muddled. You know what I mean?
They were telling us she doesn't have social media. I'm like, yes, she do. And I was saying, I'm like, this is an old social media she has. I don't know if it's still active, but she's on social media all the time. Well, with more investigating, they found current social media. That's how they found all the TikTok videos. Because I wasn't on TikTok. I only knew that she had a Facebook account.
Right.
Then they were saying, well, she doesn't have a phone. I'm like, yes, she do have a phone. Her mother told me that she had a phone. They don't know she has the phone, but she has a phone. Well, she does, it was just a lot of, like, they were saying one thing, and we were like, yeah, that don't make sense. Like, this is not what I'm being told by other people in the family.
Right.
So after a while, she got frustrated with us and basically said she wasn't supposed to be talking to us. We wasn't her guardian. And then the next thing we know, I called her. She said, well, the FBI Michigan State Police were taking over or something. And I'm like, okay. And then it was February 14th, and that's when we saw Annette on the news. So I can't remember exactly when or how. Well, that was when I talked to Mark. He did some exposure. He got us the news interview. He introduced us to Tamara Liberty Smith. We talked to her. She had us come down to a community meeting with Detroit police. We went to the meeting. They ended up pushing us out the meeting because it was live.
Right.
We brought up her name. They pushed us out the meeting. We ended up talking to the detectives over the lead, over to the homicide division. The next day, we ended up going to talk to the lead detective and giving a statement. And a lot of that information that we gave Detroit Public School Police and to the Detroit Police Department is what led them to where they were at. They had clues, but we helped. Like some of the stuff, like some stuff they didn't know about. They was like, oh, so that's the reason why.
You know what? I listen. I'm trying to say this in a way to where it don't come across a certain way. I commend everybody who genuinely really advocated for this baby. But see, when I'm seeing some of these interviews, it's almost kind of like a dick contest between everybody. It's like everybody want to be the one responsible for on the reason why we're somewhere we're not. You know what I mean? It's like everybody wants to be able to wear the, I'm the reason why this happened. Because I don't understand why people feel obligated to talk about that right now when we don't know where this baby at. And that's just the only thing that I'm getting, like, that gets me frustrated when I'm starting to understand, like, the family dynamic to it. Because, like, all of this tit for tat shit is still not getting us nowhere. Because Naziah is still nowhere to be found. And that is so problematic to me that we talking about this other bullshit.
People are out in Clinton Township.
Right.
Well, do you know this address? Oh, okay. Well, they took that information and it just kept on going from there. So when we were calling, asking questions, they said, you don't need to do anything.
This is a hot damn mess.
And I'm like, what do you mean recovery? She said, unfortunately, this is grave conditions.
Sure did.
And we was like, oh my God. Especially
when we let that be known.
Doing the searches. Like, it was said that nobody even started searching for Naziah until May. They were searching for Naziah before the 14th. They had executed warrants. They would start doing the helicopter and water searches the next day after night. Everything that they did was not being televised, and everything that they did, we didn't even know about. 99% of the time, we didn't even know about some of this stuff until we saw it on the news or somebody tagged us in a post, just like everyone else. But they were doing searches early on for Naziah in February. They did the Clinton Township search in March. They did a couple executions of a warrant in February.
See, this is where it gets muddled because it was two people that went missing, or two people that were missing simultaneously. Now, I've been looking for a lot of documentation on how many searches was conducted, and that's the reason why I asked that's why I asked earlier when we first came on if you were from Detroit, how many people, you know what I'm saying, is actually was how many searches do y'all remember knowing of? Now, let's keep going real quick.
They did water searches in February. One reason why they kept on going back to that one location because water rises and falls. Yeah. So it could change the elements. If it's down lower, they could see something else. If it rises, it could bring something from the surface, and they had to keep going out there to see if anything changed or anything had fallen. Sometimes the conditions weren't appropriate because I know they wanted to do that water grid where they actually walked through the water.
Yeah, I remember.
It was the water was frozen. We had like 0-degree temperatures in February, January and February after she went missing. So the weather conditions weren't appropriate. They were always searching for Naziah. We just didn't know about all the searches.
Yeah.
We didn't know. But that's something that I've been
trying. And they didn't want us to know. Especially
they didn't want us to know because
down the line, they didn't want anybody to know because the worst thing you can do during an investigation is let people know what's going on because you're giving people who involved time to clean their mess up. If you want to find the person, you don't go and let the bad guys know you're being looked for. They're searching. You don't
already know 30 days behind. They was already 30 days behind when they started.
Yeah, and they were already behind. Right. Yeah. Because again, they didn't hand that case over, right?
So that's
right.
They didn't hand it over.
School police. Until they see everything we was hollering about. Oh, baby, once she got those receipts back on her desk, that's when she said, "Oh no, this too big for me." But lady, we've been yelling that the whole time. Like it turned into screaming matches.
You know, I'm just not understanding why the Detroit public schools would have took a lead on a case like this anyway. I mean, y'all not even equipped. I'm not understanding why Annette would have went to the schools instead of the police department from the beginning. It's just all just a whole bunch of shit, bro.
Like, hello, why do you got the case, ma'am? It came down to her saying, well, Annette said. Like, she didn't believe us.
Yeah.
We were the ones enforcing Naziah Harris was not a runaway situation and that it needed to be further investigated. And we were the one that connected the blues clues because we were not backing down at all. We were not backing down.
That motherfucker said the blues clues.
I mean,
we did.
It's a lot of stuff that people don't know we did. It's stuff that I know I did and I don't even remember because I just was never. Every time I heard something, I recorded it.
Bro.
Every time somebody would give me some advice, oh, well, you should write a letter to this person. You should email this person. You should contact this community advocate. I've even talked to people in my family about this situation, and they would guide me. At one point, they were willing to talk to one of the children. The child didn't want to talk to them. Get a hold of the child to talk to him. So,
and that was the issue. I mean, that power over.
What the hell?
The children lived in the house. You strike. The kids already scared. You tell them, you run your mouth, this gonna happen, and they
Yeah.
gotta return. They thinking they gotta return home. I mean, you just never know the mind, like I said, the
Facts.
mind of a child.
Yep. And we was
So
dealing
we
with
didn't
all
we
of
didn't
this,
get
and
angry
then
about that. We like, of course, we were let down, and we wanted it to go the way we wanted it to go. But I mean, what do you do? You
yeah,
know,
and we was
we
going through
can't be
all of
angry at
this
the kids for being scared.
to come to Naziah going missing and trying to find her safely, to dealing with drama, and it was just
Drama
like,
after drama. We haven't even had a chance to properly just, that's what I'm upset about. If we really want to be honest and clear, because I don't think I've been this honest. And a lot of people say, well, why when we talk about this, why when y'all, like the last, not bringing anything up while we on your time, lady, but I think the questions of, why when they bring those subjects up, they don't talk about it. We just want people to understand, for us, it was bigger than us. It was bigger than being insulted. It was bigger than being lied on. It was bigger than being dragged. It was bigger than them trying to come in between me and Janelle. It was bigger than that. It was about Messiah. It was about her. And we wanted that light to shine on her. The light that she didn't get while she was walking earth, of course, that's not what we want, but that's what we're dealing with. We wanted that light on her. And we set aside our emotions. I think that I've never learned how to set aside my emotions so much, honestly, until this situation occurred. And I'm going to say this, there's a lot of chatter about who did what and what did who. Well, I'm going to just be straightforward, okay? Jernelle started this. If she hadn't have went to Mark, who had no knowledge of this, that, and other, he wouldn't have had a story of Zion. Okay, if she hadn't have stood on 10 toes with against her own sister, her own nieces and nephews, to do what needed to be done for those children, it never would have happened. All I did was follow suit when I heard about it. Oh no, we're not doing that at all. And anybody that know me know I don't play that when it comes to children. Anybody that know me, an ex, any person, human being walking planet Earth that you can mention about Kiwana, I don't play that. So of course, oh, let's do this, Janelle. But if that's the question everybody want to know, I think that she deserved that credit, because hell, she gave me the strength to say, okay, you know what, I was a mess.
Nobody deserves credit. You know why? Because Naziah is still missing. It's just like it's no credit. Everybody felt this girl. Nobody get credit for nothing. I just want the dialogue to change a little bit. It's like, I know if it's about Naziah, then we shouldn't have to keep coming back to who started what and why, because that's what's frustrating all of this shit. Let's just be real. Everybody is just like want to be the one responsible for doing something. Like, the baby still is not found, bro. Like, this is the part that's irking my soul a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because, nobody should want credit for doing what the fuck you supposed to do anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, we supposed to do these things if something or somebody is harming our motherfucking families. You know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why this is the forefront of this shit. Let's talk about a memorial. Everybody's talking about everything other than Naziah. Let's still be real about it. I'm being real about it. Ain't nobody talked about no memorial. Period. We talking about when searches was done. We talking about who did what. We talking about this and that, and who fucking who, and who getting mad, and who flirting and shit. But ain't nobody talking about this. Like, that's the only part that's aggravating me, y'all. I'm so sorry, but I just gotta be real about it. Like, ain't nobody talking about nothing of substance to me.
What am I lying? I was a mess because this was my aunt. Okay,
yeah, she
this was
wasn't.
my aunt,
She was like, I don't want to go
honestly,
against
I
her,
believe
but
I was suffering from Stockholm syndrome. Okay, if we just want to be clear, and it was her that kept me. You got it. It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be all right. You got it. It's times where I started to beat myself up, like,
yeah, she
oh
was like,
man,
she
this is
felt
my aunt
guilty.
and my, you know. I mean, I didn't let that stop me from my journey.
She
of
wanted
trying to help, but
it's
of
difficult
course.
because like what I had to second guess myself. I'm like, maybe I'm maybe I'm overthinking. You know, I don't know this little girl who made the accusations. You know, maybe it's Shannon, because Shannon and them, even though they claim they contacted the police, they always said, "Oh, well, the kids lied."
Right.
And I'm like, well, maybe I'm over exaggerating. I don't know this child. I don't know her background.
Right.
Um, but then when I would hear more, I'm like, well, why is y'all not doing nothing about this? And y'all didn't do nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just got to be too much.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Just the constant excuses for Jarvis, because she even said that when he told her out of his own mouth that he went to prison for whatever he had went to prison for, she like, okay, I'm giving him a second chance, and the little girl lied, or the teenage girl, I believe it was the teenager he was with. So she was just making excuses for Jarvis all along, Shannon.
Yeah, and I will never understand what could like I told you, this ain't the Shannon that this Shannon.
Yeah.
It's not the Shannon
at all.
Pre-Jarvis.
Yeah,
do you think she was on any type of drugs? Is Shannon ever known to do any drugs at any point?
That I know of. Not that I know of. This Shannon.
Shannon been that Shannon. You know what I'm saying? Shannon been that Shannon. I don't give a fuck what none of y'all say. That's type of slow. Don't overcome one like that. This girl been ain't nowhere in the world. Hell no. Nah. What the fuck? We talking about the same Shannon?
This is not the Shannon that I know.
No, because I knew a Shannon that kept her daughter's hair up, kept them dressed cute.
Wants the best for her kids.
Yeah, even when she didn't look like nobody, the kids did. And so
Joy being a mother and taking care of her kids and stuff like that, but
what that got to do with her man touching other kids, her doing ponytail. I don't give a fuck about how many ponytails she can do. What are we? I'm gonna have to.
So yeah, I never thought in a million years
this shit don't make no sense to me. I can't aggravate.
This would be the outcome. I mean, even the punk making reports. I mean, the stuff that we've learned thus far, like after, I never would have thought, never, that this was the type of book that was being opened. I knew that he was a weirdo. He had a background. Shannon was dealing with him. We were upset. We were making calls, to different, CPS attorneys, so on. But I never would have thought that we were talking about a serial SO. I never would have thought that.
So, how was Shannon and Roxy's relationship? Like, how did Roxy and how was their relationship growing up, Kiwana?
So as far as Roxy and Shannon is concerned, I can say that in the earlier years, I don't believe that they had as much as a relationship. Now, Kenya, on the other hand, which is Roxy mama, she was always in my Aunt Annette's life. Like, they were always bestie cousins. They used to go out together. Heck, the car Auntie Annette had was because of Kenya. The vehicles that she has now, that's because of Kenya. So they were bestie cousins. Roxy and Shannon were very much close prior to January the 9th. They were talking regularly. They were having conversations.
After January the 9th.
Even after January, they were still, having conversations and talking and so on.
Oh, okay.
I was getting frustrated, That's another story. But yeah, they were definitely cool. Absolutely.
Why do you feel like he was getting frustrated at that point?
Well, because I would say stuff. Go ahead, Chanel.
It's one thing, like that's your cousin. But when your cousin, like cousin, sister, brother, mother, whatever, right. I'm not co-signing your bullshit.
That's right.
Like facts. Nah, I gotta agree with that.
The family, a lot of people in the family knew what was being said about the situation with Jarvis.
Mm-hmm.
When Desire went missing, it was already coming. It was stuff circulating on the internet about
Right.
what was going on with Jarvis.
Right.
On the 18th of February, Mark had put all the details out of what was possibly going on and where Naziah was at or missing or what was caused. And you're still talking to Shannon.
Right.
Not to say, hey, what the hell going on? But
But
y'all
just
just
talking.
cool.
Yeah, they were very much cool. And Roxy was in Detroit. She was in Detroit for the New Year's parties. She was in Detroit at family members' functions. I was at a family members' function with Roxy. I was at that function. One of my auntie Net's children were at that function, and other family members that was at that function. Plenty of us. And this was New Year's Eve. You know, my birthday is January the 3rd, and so
All right, y'all. So I'm gonna pause it there too, so we can show these receipts that after the same go there.
Yeah, I'm just gonna speed past this part right here.
Okay, January 1st, I'm here.
But we gonna look. Shit, we here now. The fuck? Having a party today at this address. Bring the kids. It's from 12 to 3. You know what I'm saying? This is December 25th, 2023. December 24th. You feel me? Come to the New Year's Eve party. Starts at 6. This was Roxy. This was Roxy. I'm here cuz blah blah blah. Bring to ass over here, yo. So we went to tacos and tequila tomorrow, KK. You know what I'm saying? Yes, we go cook, and this was January 4th. Okay. And things like that. All right, let's go. Well, let's keep going. Now, so I guess what they're basically saying is by this time you had already knew what Jarvis was, and you're still associating with somebody who you know has been condoning it. Is that where y'all get this shit too? Because I mean that is a little interesting. No bullshit.
What was they doing in September? What was they doing in September to January? They could have stopped this. They could have did this. They could have did that. But she was also in Detroit as well. Roxy was definitely in Detroit partying up for New Year's, even before and after New Year's. Okay, January 1st, I'm here. She was telling Kiwana to come over. She cooking and she got her kids with her. Right up in here, okay, y'all?
And we also got to keep in mind to where like, cause I'm trying to play devil's advocate. So even if Roxy didn't talk to Janelle and Kawana at this time, what this is pretty much saying is that your mama had made posts about this nigga by this time, about Annette. So they're saying basically, Roxy, you knew, you know what I'm saying, because you having tacos and tequilas and shit. You feel me? So I don't know, bro. Let's keep going. That's kind of fucking different.
You can say their whole time and
lost.
okay,
Damn.
y'all, here we go. So we left off at Kiwana talking about Roxy being in town December and January.
Damn.
Anytime New Year's Eve come around and New Year's, my birthday January 3rd, it's self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? And she reached out to me, like, you know, come to the party. Um, and I showed up. You know, I wasn't gonna go because I wasn't feeling so good, but I ended up going. Prior to that, she was at another part. So I'm saying that to say that Roxy was very much in Detroit, Michigan, and I didn't understand why she's saying it's almost like she was trying to say what we were doing and we were here, and I was like lost, even on down to that very live you were talking about. I was trying to get on to get live because this is what I wanted to talk about. Like, you know, Roxy, what's going on here? What is that? What are you talking about? You were here. I never seen the problem with her saying that she was in Detroit. But I guess if you blaming us and saying what we were doing and you were in Detroit, In all the allegations everybody knew about, we were already in movement. It wasn't like, oh, Nazia's missing. What are we gonna do? We were already fighting. We were already calling CPS. We were already trying to get the kids.
Now that is offending because they have the documentation to prove since 2022 they have been actively, you know what I'm saying, harassing CPS. Now see, this is different because I was under the assumption, and I'm just being honest, I was under the assumption that, you know, Roxy was out of town around this time. Like I thought she hadn't moved to Detroit yet. But these text messages is showing that she was too in the D though when a lot of this shit was going on. Okay, let's just keep going. Let's keep going.
When it came out, we never stopped. When it came out in September by Roxy's mom dropping the receipts on Facebook, we never stopped. So we didn't understand why we were under attack for, like, what were we doing? Why was our face covered? Why everything we did, it was blown up on podcasts. And I couldn't understand that for the life of me. And I never wanted it to be a back and forth, okay? Because again, this is about Messiah. And it, you know, again, that hurt me. It really did. It took a lot of people to say, you know, I understand you don't want to talk about this, but you need to. You need to talk about it because yes, this is happening. So here we are.
I reached out to Roxy multiple times. Yeah. I told her before she did the live. I reached out to her while she was on the live. I sent text messages. I left messages. I reached to her afterwards, and she has yet to have an adult conversation with me. Right. Everything go on live.
Everything.
Nice. So for the record, Roxy was in Detroit January 2024 before Naziah went missing.
Yes, ma'am.
She was here after Naziah went missing.
Yeah, she was here after Naziah. She was here before Naziah. Yes, absolutely.
Was it January or in between September and January or just January?
She was in and out of the city, from what I understand.
Yeah, she was in and out of the city. Absolutely. She was in and out of Detroit. Yes. She has certain particular family members that she goes see all the time. All the time.
Like around Naziah's time, I was told by one of the family members that Roxy was here in December, New Year's Eve. She had a party because this particular family was supposed to come to my house for New Year's Eve, but they was like, "No, I'm going over my cousin Roxy's."
Yep.
Oh, okay.
And after the 9th, this cousin also told me that Roxy was here the month of January multiple times before Naziah went missing and after Naziah went missing.
So did Kenya and Roxy do any reaching out to authorities when she was in town?
I have no idea.
I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of them.
Yo, y'all know I'm silly, but Kawana, she with the shit. Kawana's with the shits today in the box. He said, no, the fuck no. Shit. We've been doing shit since 2022. The fuck. Yo, I'm so sorry, but I can't help it. But let's keep going.
But the thing about it is, after Naziah went missing on the 9th, Roxy didn't get involved until after the 18th.
Of February?
Yeah, February.
Oh, damn.
So basically the investigation and everything was already in motion and they had the evidence that they needed.
We had already told them everything we needed to know. We already gave them the names. We had already spoke to the lead detective. Roxy didn't speak to the lead detective until she told her to go home when she was on Indiana. That was the first time she had any interaction with her.
I know she was upset. She was highly upset. She didn't show up for support. She showed up to say, go home or you finna have a problem and take all your people with you.
Because she actually had contacted me first, like, why are you guys on Indiana? And I'm like, we are not on Indiana. I'm at home. Kiwana's with her children. We are not on it because she had been talking to us. Like we were giving her leads, like we was on text message with this detective, like giving her anything with her, we was telling her. And then
Y'all let me know in the chat if y'all know what they're talking about when they're speaking about Indiana.
Yeah, I remember that. That's when it was a search that was done over there. They were on Indiana Ave and they was all going door to door, searching. That was like one of the searches I seen actively, on video. But that is what they're talking about. If y'all didn't know what they were talking about, but yo, let's keep going.
The street Indiana where they was supposed to been where Roxy was supposed to have been searching and ran into some guy named Fred. Are any of y'all aware of that in the chat?
It's crazy because it's a lot of, I mean, this is a lot of messy shit, and you do wonder like sometimes, because I did a video and you could scroll down, but there was a back and forth that went on between Vari and Roxy. And I just remember him saying something along the lines of, you know what I'm saying, you switching up. And I never understood that. And I just don't understand a lot of this because yeah, this is different. But let's keep going.
And I believe Tammy, the psychic lady, was guiding Roxy at that time. Is that correct, Kiwana?
Mm-hmm. That's definitely correct. Let's keep
And
going.
Tammy there. See,
We
So
said no.
Indiana, and if y'all, and she said, "Well, I'm on my way to Indiana, and if y'all, I hope y'all not over there."
Yeah. We
So
said
when
no
she got
worries.
over there, she saw to Roxy, and she said, "Roxy, who?" No, she asked Roxy who she was. She said, "I'm Nazia's cousin." She said, "On what side?" She said, "On her mother's side." She said, "What's her mother's name?" She said, "Lady." She said, "No, what's her mother's real name?" She said, "Chantel." She said, "No, you need to go home." She didn't even know her real name. She didn't even know Nazia's mother's real name.
wow. And what was on Indiana again?
That was when it was a whole fiasco about somebody on Indiana having something to do with Nazia's case, and it had nothing to do with anything.
Yeah, there was a psychic by the name of Tammy.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly
She
what
did
it
a
was.
lot of dragging us as well and putting lies out there about us as well. However, her and Roxy, they had this adventure as to the clues of Nazia. And she seen her here. Tammy was saying, I see this, I vision that.
Yeah,
she's here, she's there.
Tammy, for some reason, how it started was, people saying, "You need to talk to Tammy. You need to talk to Tammy." So I think Mark had showed Roxy something on a live, and the next thing I know, they said that Roxy was over there where this house was at on Indiana. Then the next day, I think that Roxy talked to the psychic, and they didn't hit it off right for some reason. I don't know why.
So y'all, I'm gonna stop it right there too, okay? Because Tammy wound up getting on live with Roxy.
Yeah, we actually reacted to that too. It was a psychic who was guiding Roxy over on Indiana, and on that particular live, I remember it being they went into some trunks and some shit. It was a lot of different shit or whatever. But let's keep going. This is
I'm gonna
Tammy.
show this right here. I'm gonna show this one. Because this was the live that Tammy came up on. And then you can see the message right here next to it, where I'll just show the whole message. Hold on. We're just gonna look at the whole thing.
This is just like, where is this baby though, man?
Okay, so that's how Indiana came into play. That's what I believe, anyway. They wanted to know how Nazia felt about the family. They said everyone to twitching. Name start with a D. Right, she was calling that guy Saucy Santana and stuff, which is quite strange. It's just quite strange.
Mine was on the line with me. We talked.
My bad, y'all. Shout out to Lady Isis though. She did a good job with the video.
That makes me wonder, are you really gay, Roxy?
Hold on, what? See, this is what I'm talking about, man. What the fuck?
Yep, that's the thing. Christian, she is gay and got a wife. I don't know why she made fun of him like that. Makes me wonder, are you really gay, Roxy?
What happened?
What?
So people kept on saying was the Tammy, y'all need to talk to Tammy. Somebody need to talk to Tammy. She said she don't want to talk to Roxy or something. I'm like, well, what happened? So I talked to Roxy.
Yeah, hold on. Somebody, we can't just skip over this shit. Who got a wife? Wait. Hold on. See, y'all get on my fucking nerve with these comments, man. Hold on. Let's see now. What the fuck, man?
Right, she was calling that guy Saucy Santana and stuff, which is quite strange. It's just quite strange. Okay. All right, y'all, let me go back. Right, Fred didn't have nothing to do with the case. Nothing to do with the case at all. So the question is, what was Tammy and Roxy really on? That's the real question right there. Yep, that's the thing. Christian, she is gay and got a wife. I don't know why she made fun of him like that. Makes me wonder, are you really gay, Roxy?
What happened? So people kept on saying was the Tammy, y'all need to talk to Tammy. Somebody need to talk.
I knew, that's what I'm saying. I knew that. I kind of felt like, I thought that Roxy was family, but see, like, that's what had me concerned. I didn't, how she was, Kawana was making it seem like Roxy was mad that she was chose by Mark. So it's like, I don't understand what the fuck going on, bro, because this shit, do y'all understand how much dysfunction this? I know my family ain't the best family, but nigga, you got aunties, uncles. It is so much shit going on in this motherfucking family, bro. What the fuck is going
on? Talk to Tammy. She said she don't want to talk to Roxy or something. I'm like, well, what happened? So I talked to Roxy briefly about the situation, and then I said, well, I'm gonna just reach out to the lady, see what she said. And that's exactly what I did. I reached out to her. I listened to what she had to say. Kiwana was on the line with me. We talked to her a little bit, but then I started receiving, she started asking more questions than she was giving information. Yeah. And then after everything was said and done, the next day she called me. And then she said she was going to channel Nasiah again later. I'm like, okay. And then I started getting messages from people. Don't talk to Tammy, sending me all this stuff about like it was a scam or whatever. And I had already decided like, okay, well, I don't need to talk to her. So she got upset with us because, well, me particularly, because I wouldn't respond back to her messages and I wouldn't answer some of the questions she had about the case, about who this person is and who that person is. And then one of the things I said, why don't you ask Nasiah? Right. So she got mad.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense. You supposed to be able to channel,
know. So she went on her platform and tried to say, well, we had something to do with it, and we were lying, and we weren't in on it and stuff like that. Well, some of the stuff, I wasn't gonna tell you regardless. A lot of the stuff I wasn't gonna tell you because I knew it was involved.
Bro, they fed the fuck up, Shawty. They fed the fuck up tonight.
An investigation.
Right.
And then I received all this information from people who I don't even know, just out of the blue, sending me stuff about you need to look up Scammy Tammy on TikTok.
Yeah, I was. That's a whole nother video, but let's keep going.
And all this different stuff, and I'm like, well, I had already made up my mind that I wasn't going to talk to her anymore. And I just discontinued the communication, and she said we ghosted her, and I was like, so you mad because I stopped talking to you?
Right. Like,
I'm like,
it's
okay.
my right if I want
And
to
at
talk.
first, I was when she started saying all this stuff about us, I was like, this is ridiculous. I'm not about to argue about this. I got more important things to do. Well, then eventually, I guess her and Roxy started talking again, and she was back following the leads of what this person was saying, and it went on from there. And I just sat back, and I got several phone calls from family members and people like, why are y'all over there doing it? I'm not over nowhere. I am at home.
That's right.
Kiwana was like, well, she's talking about let's go. I said, you better not go over there.
You sure did. I was like,
I was like,
at first I was like, well,
go over there.
do I go support my cousin? But my thing was, it was the things that was happening. It's one thing to gather folk and everybody go on a search, but when you doing like all this gangster stuff on Facebook Live, it don't go together. You know what I'm saying? It's like peanut butter and marshmallows.
Like she was going to people's houses looking at cars and that looked like blood. And
no, I know. I know exactly what live they talking about. I think we looked at it.
All this different stuff.
They were being accused of murdering Naziah, and it's
having something to do with Naziah, and that's when things really went left because she called us like after all this stuff was down. I guess Mark had told her people was upset about the videos being up. That Roxy need to take the videos down. She eventually took them down. So I'm assuming, okay, great. She took them down. We ain't accusing nobody and nothing. We don't know because we don't know. We not the police or whatever. I could have seen if you gave the information to the police and let them investigate. But she went over there and did her own thing, whatever. And then Mark told her, and he also told me, he said, well, I asked her to take the videos down because people had been contacting him, because they didn't like that the videos were up. So they were down. So fine. Well, then I think that was like on a Thursday or Friday. Well, that Sunday, she called me. And I don't even know how we got into the conversation, but basically what I remember the conversation, she said, well, why didn't nobody tell me? And I'm like,
I'm going to pause it, y'all, because the fact is Roxy was acting like she didn't have no clue that she shouldn't be doing the stuff that she was doing. I feel like Tammy was dead ass wrong for guiding such a gullible Roxy to go accuse people of a crime, right? Of, like they say, accuse, and she being dragged.
Hold on, y'all.
I'm not about to go knock on nobody's door in the city, no city, let alone Detroit, on Indiana, on the west side, in that neighborhood, asking them no questions about what color is the sky blue. So I couldn't understand that. Like, she was really upset because my family had contacted me to get from over there because they know what type of neighborhood it is.
Right.
Right. A lot of stuff can be, it's kind of, sketchy over there, and you don't know who you talking to. So they were telling me, are you up? I'm like, I'm not over there. But I assume when you go do something like that, you
fully aware, you're in it up.
Right. But by the time I was first of all, I wasn't really made aware. I knew it was sketchy. That's the reason why I went over there. Mm-hmm. I know that area was sketchy. You can look on the videos and the pictures, it was sketchy over there. That's why I wasn't over there knocking on doors and going into abandoned houses. That's why I never did it, because it's not safe at all. Regardless if you got a gun on you or not, it's not safe to be going.
And then if you're gonna do those type of searches, it just has to be organized into a way to where you do have police presence and things like that. There's ways that they could be done correctly. You know what I'm saying? The same way police go off in there, it could be an organized search. But I do understand what she's saying. It's not one of them type of situations where you just pop up. And sometimes people being under the impression that's what you do. Hell no. You feel me? You can't do that.
In abandoned houses, somebody could fall through the floor. You don't know who in there or what might happen to you at all. Group or no group. But she just basically told us, well, why didn't nobody tell me? And I'm like, oh, I didn't know you didn't know. Like, right. And like, my thing is, I'm an adult. I don't need nobody to tell me what to do and what not to do. Even when I'm doing something that I probably shouldn't be doing, I'm an adult and I'm doing it, and I fully accept the consequences of it. That's the reason why I'm not the type of person to tell another grown person what to do, because I believe at 40 something years old, well, at least I'm 40 something, Roxy's not that age yet, but still at an adult age,
Mm-hmm.
I know what I'm getting myself into.
And then, like you said, this is Detroit. Everybody knows in Detroit, you got to be careful in certain neighborhoods now. That's we know the spaces and the places. As far as cities, I mean, I can name a few. If I was to travel to or be in, I would know I need to be
You know what
careful
to look
outside
for.
of Detroit.
And then if you accusing this person of this type of thing, what's to say you not gonna be next? You know what I'm saying? So that's what was, and then not after that, that's when all the social media stuff, her going live and saying all we did was pick up the phone, and I'm like, oh, so she mad at me because I didn't tell her that she shouldn't be doing that. Well, Detective Jones told you, the lead detective.
And this is the post that a comment to wanted them. And I think this is what caused the whole narrative to change around it. She was in direct contact with both
So I want to make it very clear because there seems to be confusion on certain people. Kawana, aka K Times role, is a gatekeeper. She holds information and lets out what she wants to let out and use other people to release it. She was in direct contact with both Naziah and her brother. They both confided in her several times about coming to get them, and she never went to go get them. No one knew any contact information for them or what addresses they were at except for Kawana. That is why no one could go get them, because Kawana would tell anyone the information as to when as to where they were at, especially when it came to her brother. As far as Naziah, she stated she'd been doing whatever it was that she was supposed to be doing since September, which would have been 3 months before Naziah went missing, and all she did was pick up a phone. And I think we looked at this too, okay? But
Zaya and her brother get them because
yes,
he
we
saw what
looked
she
at
did
this.
when she seen Shannon. She was whispering in a corner. She wasn't doing shit. She did absolutely nothing. In motion before Roxy even put a finger in it.
No, I mean that is true. These ladies been behind the scenes from 2022. Here's the thing, y'all. Here's the thing. It all balanced out. All right. You know that Kawana and Janelle has definitely been doing what they were supposed to be doing since 2022 as much as they could do it. But here's the thing. They both admitted to they didn't like the public persona of it. Now Roxy came in and helped with the public persona of it. Now listen, however fucked up it was, it ended up working out to where Naziah was able to spread to the masses. The thing what I just don't understand is why is there so much animosity? I still haven't heard nothing to where to make these ladies be this evil towards each other when the baby is not found. That's the thing that is just so aggravating to me. But I do see where Janelle and Kawana can get aggravated because they're dropping a lot of receipts. You can't deny that shit. You know what I'm saying? And it does make you be like, what the fuck is really going on? Shit, bro.
Detective told you. We got everything we need. You can go home. Which they had told
But
us
they've
several
been
times before
grinding
since
though.
February 2024.
And see, that's weird because let me just let's keep going.
That they did not need us to do any searches. It was okay for us to pass out flyers and keep her, people aware of what was going on, letting them know what she looked like. But they really were not believing that they was going to find her. But I guess to appease the family, keep on passing out flyers. And then that's so at that point, that's the reason why I was like, okay, so if y'all saying this is a recovery effort and these are grave conditions, in front of
Right.
that's when I came up with the thought, like we need to protest in front of the police precinct or the police headquarters or in front of the court, the 36th district or something like that. Because if you were telling us we don't need to do searches and all this, well, why has nobody been charged? So we end up organizing the
Nezzy, why? I want to know why you say that. Put it in the comments.
protest. And as you can see, it was probably about 5 or 6 of us at every protest. Out of all the family members who knew, out of all the people who know. And kind of one reason was because we had kind of hush hush, but we would tell a lot of people like we knew personally about what was going on and we were having a protest. But we stopped advertising on social media because we didn't know who was coming. And, when they was doing those big searches, a lot of things happened because everybody was coming and some people wasn't doing it for the right reasons. And things were getting vandalized
And I just really want to know what the police department found that was so critical to just really off rip didn't think that they were going to be finding a live child. And I need to know what the fuck, because still I have never seen a police department not want to recover a baby's remains, even if you know that she might not be with us any longer. So it makes me say, what do you know to where you just absolutely positively don't feel like no searching should be done? And hopefully we be getting that in a couple days or when this trial starts, because that's baffling to me.
it was just a mess.
I think so. So it was your idea to do the protest?
Yep, I said, well, maybe we need to start protesting because, like, why nobody's charged, but y'all don't want us doing search.
It was her idea. It sure was. She mentioned it and she said we should do it.
We were just trying to determine where we were going to do it at. Was we going to do it in the police headquarters, 36th district, or CPS, or where were we going to do it at?
Right.
And then it came about because we figured Kim Worthy is the person who office is the one who would bring charges. So we figured we just go straight there. It didn't really make sense to go to the police headquarters because they were actually doing the investigation. Every single lead, even far into the investigation, I think it was like July or probably about July, I got a tip. Somebody said they had seen Naziah at a liquor store. I messaged the lead detective. It had to be 8, 9 o'clock at night. She was like, I'm pretty sure it's not nothing, but if it makes you feel better, I'll go over there. They were doing.
Do you hear this shit?
Doing everything. Every lead that we gave them, they followed.
It was absolutely, and I must say that we were just frustrated because we weren't hearing anything. We start hearing, and that's when we learned why we weren't hearing anything, because to them they didn't want nothing on social media because it's an investigation. They had already had Jarvis, so we had no reason to go. Now they had Jarvis for something totally different. However, they were building a case. That's what they were doing. Jarvis has been locked up since what, February the 7th?
Yep, February 7th to 24th.
So
but yeah, it was like, and then it was like when they would tell us stuff, it would end up on social media.
And they didn't want that at all.
And that's the reason why they stopped talking to us. Just like after Kim Worthy read the charges. Now we had been to court, all the other court things, like anything else we could go to court for.
Right.
No problem. Walked right in. When they got ready to arraign him, they put 8 guards around us. And we could not, they tried to limit who could come in the courtroom. And I was like, well, what is all this about? They put 8 guards around us. And then later come to find out it was because they were concerned about all the stuff that had been seen on social media. And they thought that we were the ones who was causing the uproar, at the going into the neighborhoods, accusing people and, different things like that. I have never seen them put 8 guards around a family to sit in an arraignment to watch someone be charged for the death of their loved one.
Right.
Right.
I've never seen.
So, and then they were trying to tell us, well, who is immediate family? Only immediate family can come in. And we had like public officials there with us, and they was like, no, we've been down here since 10 o'clock.
We coming in.
Everybody coming in. Like,
Mhm.
we was supposed to be down there at 10. They didn't do his arraignment till like 2. They said, no, everybody coming in. We've been down here since 10 a.m. waiting for this arraignment. And then they finally let us in. But when they let us in, they went and got other guards to stand around us. So when we were leaving, I'm like, we ain't never had no guards around us no other time. Why all of a sudden we got guards around us today? Oh, well, you know, there's been a lot of things said about what's been going on social media and the behavior that's been presented. I was like, I wasn't even there.
Right. I'm like, she stopped me from being there. So, yep, I wasn't there.
I wasn't even there, and nobody who was in that group had been to any of those to those searches.
Right.
I'm just thinking like this don't make no sense. It don't make no sense how they was handling y'all like y'all were the problem.
I kind of brushed it off because they didn't know who was who and what was going on,
All they knew was what they were seeing,
But thank God, the lead detective was there, like, no, this is her family, Tamara Liberty Smith, she was there or whatever. So it was people who identified. So everybody ended up getting in. I don't think anybody was left out. But that's the reason why they brought all those guards around. Kiwana couldn't even see because
I sure didn't.
It was guards in front of her.
I was a little teed off up in there. I was like, I can't see nothing.
Like,
I just sat there
the whole time.
Right.
Go ahead. Go ahead. I was going to say
has a stressful situation.
Yeah, I could just imagine. Stressful. I could just imagine. So back to Kenya. Was she there at the protest ever? And did she have any involvement as far as getting justice for Naziah?
So basically what I'm getting out of this, and I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, and I mean, I was looking for a comment too, but so basically what it just seems like is the disruption, it seemed like they're saying came from Roxy and Mark. They're saying that they were pretty much already doing what they were supposed to do, and a lot of the shit that was going on, the disruptions was coming from them. Is that what y'all getting from this shit too? Because it's like, what the fuck?
No, she wasn't at none of the protests.
I know she passed out flyers with Roxy.
And I'm asking because Kenya is one of the main people that has been very vocal on social media. I've heard a lot of her interviews on TikTok and on Facebook as well. She seemed to be very vocal about you and Kiwana's position and what you've done and things like that.
Yeah, so I don't even watch the stuff that I do.
Might I ask what you heard?
Yeah, I haven't watched any of her interviews. I've seen bits and pieces, but nothing.
Yeah, me too. I've seen bits and pieces. Was it like in a negative light as far as Kenya?
Oh yes, of course. It was in a negative light. I feel like most of it was directed towards Kiwana. I've heard Kenya say things about Kiwana being mentally challenged. Her wanting Mark. She mentioned that you wanted Mark, and you asked. Mark even said that you asked to go to his house at one point.
Yeah, that's what I called to check him for. That's the phone.
Mark, bro, you fucking. What is the John Brown for real, y'all? Shawty, we ain't never, man. This is exactly why, bro. We be fucking, boy. We hold each other back so bad because, like, yo, bro, like seriously. I wish she would have said. I wish she wouldn't even mention that she just. Cause it pisses me off, bro. This is a hot goddamn mess, man.
Yeah, that's what I called to check him for. That's the phone call me and Janelle was on a 3-way about.
So I'm gonna pause it right there, y'all, so we can go watch a clip of this live that I'm talking about. Hold on, let me slow it down a little bit. Right before she said what she said about somebody kissing Mark, but she had said something about her being mentally challenged. And you know, Kiwana slowly.
Might take all parts so you keep going. That's what she sounded like. She wasn't on the phone.
Not no motherfucker in the goddamn seat.
Yeah, I hate this fucking computer so much.
Mike wants Mike is there. You might kiss all parts so you keep on. That's what she sounded like. She wasn't on the phone.
Not no motherfucker in the goddamn seat.
I don't know. Can y'all hear it? I
Kiss my
said,
ass.
even if y'all want to go to her live, it's still up on Roxy. Go do that. I don't know. It's skipping on my end. It's like, why was gonna come up, you know, to speak her piece and tell her truth of, you know, what's really going on, or, you know, to clear the air, clear her name. Roxy looked right at them comments and did not let her come up on the live. And it was several people in the comments saying, let her up. I seen it. Truth about God. And tragedy, how you doing that? She don't want to answer them type of questions either. She don't want to deal with the truth either.
Let this man lie to malicious, and then you know first.
Forward, talking about you is blood in there, girl. Is you slow?
And I checked him about that. And
but was this recent? Was this early on, or what was? I don't know, girl.
That live was. I'm not sure right now of the date.
Okay.
But I know it had to have been sometime a few months ago. So.
Oh.
Yeah,
and
it was.
And you know, and again, I you know, that hurts me. That hurts me because, you know, first and foremost, these are my family members. And after everything that I felt like me and Janelle had done and we had been through, it would have been great for them to be supportive and to come along and support us and support me. I don't understand what the energy was, and I still don't. Because Kenya know that I came to her just to have a conversation. She know that. And it sounded like it was a malicious attack. Because what blood cousins will sit on a platform with a man that they hadn't even known for 3 months and let this man lie on their cousin? I mean, I don't think I would have let that happen with my worst cousin.
And I just don't understand why that would have even ever came about when the subject in hand should have been finding Nasiah. I'm happy I didn't really know a lot of this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be honest. I wish I could have went on and not known a lot of this shit, because that pillow talking shit, men with women and talking that shit, is just, I don't like it. It's just, what the fuck is the point of it? I mean,
I would have been like, hold on, wait a minute. You know what? That this I don't even want to know, first of all, whatever y'all had going on. But I'm not gonna sit on a platform and dog out my own family.
That's just like with Shannon. We not gonna sit up and let nobody say nothing that's not true about Shannon. Like,
you know,
we don't agree with nothing
crazy,
she does.
You know what really hurt? I'm gonna tell you what really hurt. This one hurts me the most. Kenya and Roxy weren't in a good space and place. Kenya disagreed with Roxy's relationship with her wife, not just because it was a woman and she doesn't agree with same-sex relationships, but also because she's a European woman. She does not like white people at all. And I went to Roxy at this New Year.
See, this is what I mean, but why do we need to know this, y'all? See, this is when it gets so ridiculous to me, because it's just like, why are we talking about this part? You feel me? Like, do we need to know this information? you know, this part here, this is where it gets a little iffy, because see, now we're so far down the street from Nasiah. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh man. Let's keep
at
going.
all. And I went to Roxy at this New Year's party, and I said, during the conversation, I said, Roxy, you know, that's your mom. And I lied to Roxy.
You know what? Hold on one second. I'm finna get my sandwich. Y'all ain't finna get me. It's